Some skin, baby, come on!
Auckland's Chinese underworld boss, Sun Chu, is carrying out a ruthless plan. He intends to clear away every obstacle through a carefully orchestrated gang war and seize a priceless stretch of waterfront real estate. But what he doesn't know is that in a Hong Kong prison, 10,000 kilometers away, his eldest son, Han Xing, who took the fall for him, has just learned of his younger brother's death. This city is held in a fragile balance by three powers. The whites control business. The blacks dominate the streets, while Sun Chu's Chinese gang moves deftly between the two. Now a lucrative stadium project has shattered that unspoken understanding. He needs to consolidate the dockside parcels controlled by the black and Chinese gangs, and bloodshed has become inevitable. The first piece of the plan is Sun Chu's youngest son, Bao. He openly provokes people on the turf of the black boss, Isaac. That swagger quickly draws murderous attention. But Sun Chu's top enforcer, Chi, merely watches with cold detachment. His orders are not to protect Bao, but to take care of the gang members who clash with him. He strikes like a phantom, dropping several men in an instant, all to create the perfect setup for a frame job. The next day, Bao's body is found hanging from a street lamp, grotesquely brutalized. All the evidence points to Isaac. As the head of the black gang, Isaac feels a chill run down his spine. He knows Sun Chu's methods well. Decades of dealing with him have taught him that this man has a heart of iron. Isaac is at a critical moment, trying to get out of the game. This deal with the white real estate developer Ross is his final step toward going legitimate. The last thing he wants now is a war. He goes in person to pay his respects and try to explain. But Sun Chu's reaction was terrifyingly calm. He simply said the kid was dead, and not to take it to heart. Isaac knew that beneath that calm was a storm of fury about to break. He immediately ordered round-the-clock protection for his adopted son and daughter, under tight security. Meanwhile, in Hong Kong, Han Xing heard that his younger brother was dead. 10 years earlier, he had taken the fall for his father and been sentenced to 20 years. For 10 years, he kept his head down, doing his time to repay that so-called debt. But now, the death of his own brother reignited a fury long buried. He staged a riot. In the interrogation room, he was hung upside down. But that was all part of the plan. Using the swing of his body, he took down 4 guards with precision. He grabbed the keys and changed into a uniform, then calmly walked out of the prison that had held him for a decade. Han Xing returned to Auckland after 10 years away. He hijacked a taxi, only to unexpectedly pick up a black girl who had slipped away from her bodyguards. Her name was Tracy, Isaac's daughter. These two should have been enemies, but fate brought their paths together before either of them knew it. Han Xing went to see his father. What he got in return was a cold rejection. Sun Chu dismissed his plan to avenge his brother with utter contempt. Then even worse news came. Isaac's son had also been assassinated. Isaac's side took it as Han Xing's revenge. A war between the two gangs was on the verge of erupting. Han Xing found a note covered in addresses in his brother's car. He realized it was directly connected to his brother's death. He found Tracy, and the two of them, both grieving a loved one, decided to investigate together. They followed the list, only to find that the addresses on it were either abandoned or had already turned into hell on earth. At one of the locations, they were ambushed by Chinese hitmen. Han Xing recognized his family's mark on one of the attacker's hands. A terrible thought crossed his mind. His father was the mastermind behind it all. At a real estate deal meeting, Isaac saw Sun Chu walking out of the room. His heart sank. Inside, the white developer Ross was waiting for him. But Isaac's most trusted lieutenant, Amai, showed his true colors. It turned out Amai had long been secretly working with Ross, using violence to force people to sell properties they refused to give up. Isaac's dream of buying in and going legit was nothing but a joke to Amai. He turned on them right there, and gunfire erupted. Amai was far better armed. He wiped out Ross's men and gunned Isaac down. Then he admitted he was the one who killed Isaac's son. Just when Amai thought he had won, Han Xing appeared. Amai admitted he had killed Isaac's son, but denied killing Abeo. It no longer mattered. Han Xing moved in and cleanly crippled Amai. Tracy arrived and used Amai's gun to avenge her father and brother. Now only one final mystery remained. Han Xing arrived at the Sun family mansion, where his childhood friend was waiting for him. Aki, his father's top enforcer. Aki confessed that he was the one who killed Abeo. Abeo had accidentally overheard the secret behind the entire land acquisition scheme. With his personality, there was no way he could keep it quiet. And all of it had been done on Sun Chu's orders. Anyone who stood in the old man's way had to die. The childhood friends were now sworn enemies. The two launched into a fight to the death. They fought with moves born from the same school, yet shaped into something utterly different by the 10 years that had set them apart. Aki fought even more viciously, every move aimed to kill. He pressed a red-hot brazier against Han Xing's chest. In blinding pain, Han Xing unleashed every ounce of strength he had, driving a devastating kick straight down from the crown of Aki's head, crushing his central nervous system. As his bones cracked like falling dominoes, Aki collapsed. Han Xing walked into the study and faced his ice-cold father. He demanded to know how his father could bring himself to murder his own son. Sun Chu said nothing. He slowly took out a pistol and handed it to Han Xing, telling him to avenge his younger brother himself. Han Xing pushed the gun away and told his father he wasn't worth killing by his own hand. The law would pass final judgment on him. Han Xing turned and walked away. Then a gunshot rang out behind him. Sun Chu ended his life of sin with a bullet to himself. Han Xing dragged his exhausted body out of the villa. Behind him lay a ruined family. Ahead of him stretched endless night. A pair of warm hands wrapped around him from behind. It was Tracy. Two people who had crawled out of hell had chosen each other atop the ruins, and together they would walk toward dawn.